May this morning offer you new hope of life. May you be happy and enjoy every moment of it. Good morning, students, and welcome you all for today's lecture. Today, we are going to start with third lesson of history, that is religious synthesis. I hope students you have started completing your notes in your history workbook. So before we start with the lesson, let's look at the introduction. Dear students, religion plays an important role in shaping the history of any region. The medieval India was also influenced by certain religious trends. The tradition of devotion, that is Bhakti, had special place in the social life during the medieval period. This tradition emerged in various parts of India. Let's learn about it in this chapter. Let's start with the chapter. Religious synthesis. Now, before we could start with our lesson, it is very important for you all to know what is the meaning of synthesis. Now, synthesis, students, is the formation of something complex or coherent by combining simpler things. What was complex to make it simple to the people, and that's why many people came forward for it, and it was in the form of an movement. Synthesis is defined as combining a number of different parts or ideas to come up with a new idea or theory. Something that is made by combining different things such as ideas, styles, etc. I hope it's clear to you what is the meaning of synthesis. Now, let's begin with our lesson. Diversity of languages and religion is an important characteristic of the Indian society. Now, what does it mean? It means that people speaking various different kinds of languages and following different religions stay in Indian society. This is the main characteristic, that is feature of Indian society. Even those students, we all know that we belong and we live together, even though we have or follow different languages and religion, live together, speak different languages, we are living in a free Indian society. Now, considering this feature, the Indian Constitution has adopted the principle of secularism. Students, see, when we studied about our framing of Constitution, we studied about principles that were laid down in it. Yes or no? Now, among it, Constitution has adopted the principle of secularism. Now, what does it mean, students? It means a state that supports or participates in a neutral manner, not at one side or the other side, not taking one side or the other side, respecting one and not respecting the other, in the affairs of what? Of all religious groups. That is, considering all religions to be equal. See, we have adopted this principle where all religions are considered equal and equal respect is given to all the religions and the people, those who follow this religion. So, this is one of the important feature of the constitution, that is secularism. Now, students, what happened in medieval India? Why was there a need of such a moment? Was it because of orthodox rituals and traditions which the common people had to follow, and because of it they were somewhat disturbed. Let's see. See students, in medieval India, now see our history is divided into ancient, medieval and modern history. So now in medieval India, which refers to a very long period of the history of the Indian subcontinent, now between the ancient and modern period, that is from the 6th to the 18th century. So what happened during this time? Now efforts were made by different people. See, different people who came forward for whom to solve the problems or give a new thing to the people, that is the common people. And what did they bring? They brought about religious synthesis in social life of people. And on what? On the basis of the principle of secularism that was adopted and given to us by our constitution. Now to bring about this religious synthesis, many people came forward to in different parts of our country. Now many movements were started in the different parts of our country, but from all the moments, right? So in all this, the Bhakti movement, Sikhism and the Sufi sect, they have achieved a great significance or importance and name and fame by many people accepting the movement. Now students here, SECT, sect meaning is a group of people with somewhat different religious beliefs from those of a larger group to which they belong, having different thinking and beliefs. They had a different thinking, and this different thinking, they wanted to do something for the people, right? And these people, they came forward and started with this synthesis. So we are going to see in detail about it as we are going to proceed further with our lesson. Now, these like-minded people, now like-minded means in different parts of our India, they were thinking in that same manner, right? They had different beliefs, thoughts and streams, and they arose in the different parts of our country. Now, they emphasized harmony between different sects and religion along with devotion to God. Now, let us know about these two words before we could understand it, right? Now, what does harmony mean? Harmony means, students, a situation in which people are peaceful and agree with each other, or when things seem right or suitable together, right? Now, this only they wanted to bring in the people, right? So they emphasized, now what did they emphasize on or gave special importance or value to something in speaking or writing. Less stress on speaking, right? So they emphasize harmony between different sects and religion along with what here? That is devotion to God, right? That is worshipping God. So they try to bring people of different religions together, telling them God is one and teaching them devotion to God, right? So here again you are going to see Constitution has given us the principle of secularism, and these like-minded people, they were thinking that all should be given the equal rights, right? And they were considering that even though we follow different religion and our way of worshipping is different, God is one. So they were trying to tell this to the people. So we are going to study about it in detail, and first we are going to see about Bhakti movement. Initially, rituals, that is, characteristics of a particular religion or church, and Brahmadhyan, that is, Hindu supreme knowledge, had special importance or value in the lives of people in the Indian religious life. But in this lesson, we are going to see that in the medieval period, because of different beliefs, thoughts and ideas in minds of people gave way to Bhakti Marg, that is, the path of devotion. Now students, as I told you, that is, in the medieval period, because of different beliefs, thoughts and ideas in minds of people, it gave way to the Bhakti Marg, that is the path of devotion. Now students, this Bhakti Marg did not give undue or excessive importance to hierarchies. Now what is the meaning of that here? A system in which people or things are put at various levels or ranks according to their importance. Okay. Now see here, for example, I'll give you, if there were, you can say, the Brahmins or the Pandits, right? So during that time, it was said that his son is going to get that next post. But now when this moment was started and when they considered that all are equal, so no importance was given to such, you are going to see, that is the hierarchies. And because of that, you know, that is the people, that is the orthodox people, they, or you can say the people, those who were having this post, they went against the movement which was started. Now Bhakti Marg did not give importance to such rankings, which was the reason that it further facilitated, that is, made easier and helped them in bringing about the religious synthesis, even though there were criticism or some people were against it. Now students, as I told you earlier, that it did not start in any one region or any one state, but this movement took place throughout our country. And when slowly and gradually people started knowing about it, they took interest in it and very anxious to know about it, and thus it further facilitated religious synthesis. See students, throughout our India, people following different religions and speaking different languages are living. Now these people speaking different languages and following different religion, those who are living in India, these people, they are going to follow different ways of the path of devotion according to what here, the local situation there. Now which God they are going to worship. Now accordingly, their ways of devotion are going to be different. The Bhakti movement, which was started, used the common language of the people student. It did not use Sanskrit, which many of them could not follow, but the common language. Now the people began to understand what was preached and taught and how they had to worship or do the devotion of the deities. They were understanding, and because of this, what happened, you know students, this gave way to the development of many regional languages in different parts of our country. Now first what was used? Sanskrit. But now they used the language of the common people in different parts, and thus gave way to the development of regional languages. Now student, let's proceed further and study in detail about the Bhakti movement. Bhakti, that is devotion, or in Marathi we call it Aradhana. So the Bhakti movement. Students, on a screen, you are going to see a map of our country and see the dotted white line towards the south. So, it is believed that this Bhakti movement, which we are going to study in detail, originated in South India. The Naynar and Alwar Bhakti movement emerged in this region. Which region here? That is South India. The Naynars were a group of 63 saints in the 6th to 18th century who were devoted to the Hindu god Shiva in Tamil Nadu. The Alawars were devotees of Vishnu. They were Tamil poet saints of South India who were devotees of the Hindu god Vishnu. See on the screen, students, that is the Naynars were devotees of Shiva, while the Alawars were devotees of Vishnu. The Naynars and Alawars students went from place to place composing poems in praise of deities enshrined in the villages they visited and set them to music. What is the meaning here? They went from place to place, and wherever there were the temples of Shiva or Vishnu, right? So they started composing poems in praise of that deities that were enshrined there, right? So they went from villages to villages. Now the Alwars, they are venerated especially in Vaishnavism, which regards Vishnu or Krishna as their supreme being, right? So they went on praising the deities, and thus they gave the people the devotion or the way of bhakti or aradhana. When the Naynars students and the Alawars started preaching about the bhakti movement, so they considered all human beings to be equal before God. Because during that time, right? So there was lots of controversies, that is of the high caste and the low caste people, especially the untouchables, etc. Now they wanted to remove all this, and they wanted to bring everyone together and give equal right and respect to everyone. Now attempts were made by them, that is to consider Shiva and Vishnu as one and the same, to bring the worshippers together of whose? Of Shiva and Vishnu. Because what did they believe in? They believe in that every human being was equal before God. See, now what we saw in the earlier slide, that attempts were made by them to consider Shiva and Vishnu as one and the same. And why? What was the main intention? To bring the worshippers together, right? And to further facilitate this, what did they do here? That is, you could see on the screen here Harihar idols which depict half Vishnu and half Shiva were produced in this period on a large scale. Now what they wanted the people, what message they wanted to give to the common people here, to their preachings, through their preachings, that is God is one. Okay, and because of that they wanted them to come together. Okay, and they now were telling the people that we all are equal before God. So these idols became very famous during those times. Now people belonging to all social strata had participated in this bhakti movement. Now, what do you mean by this, student? That is the social strata. That is, it is a level or class to which people are assigned according to their social status, education, or income. And this was given lots of importance during those times. For example, you have studied in your earlier classes about that is the Brahmins, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, and the Shudras, right? So they believed in that, and this was now what was preached in the Bhakti movement. That was something new for them. It was something they felt it is for us, and because of these students, the people started participating in the Bhakti movement. So the Naynars and the Alawars were getting lots of, you can say, that is the devotees or the followers, which again gave them or boost them to come forward to preach and bring out such moments in different parts of our country. Now people got attracted towards it. And why, you know? Because language. It was not Sanskrit that was used, but the common language of the people which made them more simpler to understand what was told to them or what was preached to them. Now, what did this Bhakti movement preach them or tell them? It told them about the values. Now, values of what? We are not talking here something about like discipline, etc. But here they taught them the values of love to God. How should you love your deity? Right? Or usefulness of God in one's life. It's not like students, like for sometimes we do it that when we need we are praying, otherwise we forget. It is not that. So whether you are happy, whether you are sad, whether they are good or the bad moment, so they taught them the usefulness of God in their life. And the another important thing that was taught, that was humanity. Be humans to one another. And how? By showing brotherly love towards one another, showing compassion, that is, have pity on others, or show sympathy towards others, and feelings of one problems and sorrows, showing mercy towards others, right? Because if we have this quality they felt in us, and if we are going to follow that, we can be in need of these things in our life. So they wanted everyone to follow this, right? So toward now, it is in another thing that they wanted to tell all of them or preach them in all the values they taught to them here was, that is, it is within one's power. Whether you have to punish the person, whether you have to harm the person, or whether you have to show your humanity, compassion, mercy, how you are going to handle the situation. So this was what was preached in the Bhakti movement, which was liked and by the people. Ramanuja and other acharyas, they strengthened the base of Bhakti movement in South India. Ramanuja was deeply influenced by the 12 Alawars or Vaishnava poets, saints who were immersed in bhakti or devotion towards Narayana. The Bhakti devotionalism guided by Ramanuja and other acharyas strengthened its base in South India. They told people that God is for all. All means here, students, here the rich, poor, high caste, low caste, for untouchables. So God is for everyone. Because God loves all and does not discriminate among his people. So they were of the belief that when God has created everyone equal, so who are we, the people on earth, to do all the discrimination, right? So of high caste and low caste. this is what they put it in the minds of the people. His teachings were liked by the people. They also felt the same thing that was preached and appreciated him. His teachings also had a great impact in North India. He was the one who strengthened the Bhakti movement in North India too. See students, on a screen you can see the image of Santa Kabir. Now let's know about him and his contribution. Santa Kabir, students, was a 15th century mystic poet and Santa whose writings influenced Hinduism's Bhakti movement, and his verses are also found in Sikhism's scripture, that is Guru Granth Sahib. His early life he spent with a Muslim family, but he was strongly influenced by his teacher, the Hindu Bhakti leader, that is Ramananda. Now, Kabir did not give any importance to the places of pilgrimage. Now, this also we had seen, that is, people, those who go to the various places to visit their deities or the places of worship, but he did not give any importance to it, that is the places of pilgrimage. He was against people visiting shrines in various regions to worship their god, that is idol worship. See, he was against people visiting the places of pilgrimage, and students, he was also against vratas, that is the one who keeps the fast, that is on special days for their deities whom they worshipped. He was against that. And why? Because for him, what did he believe? He believed that truth was God. Always speak the truth. So what did he wanted to tell the people? Speak truth and always follow the righteous path to life. Kabir taught that all human beings are equal before God. Now, he was the one again who did not believe that we have to make any discrimination or any difference based on caste, that is high caste or low caste, based on creed or based on sect, that is religious group and religion. So for him, every individual was equal before God, and we have to respect and give him the respect in that way. Kabir wanted to bring the Hindus and the Muslims together on this belief that all are equal before God, right? And all human beings are equal. He wanted that they should unite together, be together. But for this, he was criticized extremely. The people, those who were following these different religions, naturally, some of them must have thought that he was right, but he was criticized, and he was criticized by the orthodox people, and for which he could not do this. So, he could not bring the Hindus and the Muslim religions in strong terms. Now students, see, as I told you earlier, this movement did not start only in South India, but throughout our country where such situations were prevailing. Now on a screen we are going to see, that is, it had started in Bengal. Now Bengal means, students, towards our northeast. So in Bengal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached about the importance of Krishna Bhakti. Due to his teachings in the common people language, that was the language spoken by the people, people started believing in him People started liking him. People started believing in what he was preaching, his teaching, and got impressed and realized the importance of bhakti. They joined this movement in transcending, that is, going beyond the limits of the boundaries of caste and creed that were laid down for them. Because what was he preaching? That all are one, and all are one before God. God has created each one of us equal. See students, many people got influenced because of the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because the way he taught, the way he preached, that reached the inner hearts of the people and they accepted his teachings. One among them was Shankaradeva. That is, he also liked and was influenced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. See, we saw about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the one who was influenced by him, that is Shankaradeva, who also spread the Bhakti movement in Assam. Next on your screen, you are seeing the image of Narsimha Mehta. He was also a renowned or well-known Vaishnava Santa in Gujarat. He was an ardent devotee of Krishna, that is Krishna Bhakta. In his preaching, he also gave the message of equality. Now, see students, we saw about the Bhakti movement, we saw what Santa Kabir told, we learned about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching. All were giving the same message, that is the message of equality. That is, all are one before God. All human beings are equal before God. That was also preached by Narsimha Mehta. He is known as the first poet of the Gujarati language. Right? So, in various parts of India, so these various types of movement took place. So students, this is all for today. The remaining lesson we are going to continue in our next online session. We are going to start from Santa Mirabai. Till then, take care of yourself. Stay home, stay safe.